Let's see how we can create a brand new Webiny project. To do that, we essentially need to run a couple of commands in a terminal of choice, which will create all of the required project files on our local machine and deploy our project into our AWS account. Before doing that, there are a couple of prerequisites that we need to consider, which are all listed in our documentation here. As we can see, for starters, we need Node.js version 18 or 20. Then we need Yarn. Two versions are listed here. It's either 1.22.21 or version 2 or greater. And finally, we need an AWS account and properly set up user credentials. In case you need help setting up one or more of these, additional information can be found in our documentation. Links can also be found in the description of this video. Once all of these prerequisites are satisfied, we can continue with the next step, which, as we can see here, it's running this command, npx create Webiny project, where at the very end we specified the name for our new project. So let's see how that looks like. I'm going to copy this command and paste it into my terminal over here. As we can see, the initial project setup has begun, and soon enough we should be presented with a couple of questions related to our new project. Here we go. So for starters, we need to choose the AWS region into which our project is about to be deployed. For this video, I'm going to go with the EU Central one. Next up, we need to choose the database setup we wish to use. Here we have two options. It's either DynamoDB or DynamoDB and OpenSearch. As we can see here, the DynamoDB option is more suitable for smaller and medium-sized projects. On the other hand, DynamoDB and OpenSearch is more suitable for larger and enterprise projects. Before choosing a setup, do note one thing. The setup cannot be switched once your project has been created. So if you already have a project and you realize you need the other setup, then unfortunately you will need to recreate your project from scratch. So just something to have in mind. For this video, we're going to go with the simpler setup, and that is DynamoDB. Alright, as you can see, the necessary npm dependencies are being installed, which is a process that can take a couple of minutes to finish. So let's just wait a bit and come back when it's done. Alright, our project has been created, and now we're asked whether we want to proceed by deploying our new project. We will answer yes here, and again, as the deployment can take some time, we'll just wait and come back when it's done. Alright, our project has been deployed, and we've been automatically redirected to our admin app. Since this is the first time we're opening it, we are presented with the installation wizard, which consists of a couple of steps. And we start off by creating our first admin user, so let's fill out the form with basic user information. Once we've submitted the form, we also need to log in. And now the installation wizard proceeds with the remaining steps, which is installing all of the Webiny applications. Note that some of the applications require extra information. As you can see, for Webiny's internationalization app, we need to choose the default locale for our project. Let's just go with the default EN-US. Then, as part of the page builder installation step, we must type in the name for our website. Let's simply type my website. Alright, all steps have been completed, which means our admin app is ready. So let's click Finish Install and see what happens next. So we've landed on our admin dashboard, which gives us a couple of quick links to different Webiny apps. For example, from here we can easily jump to the Page Builder app and start creating our first page. We can also jump to the Headless CMS app and start defining our content models and start creating content entries. But of course, there's more in the main menu over here. As you can see at the top, we have the Form Builder, Headless CMS, and Page Builder sections first. We also have this Settings section, where we can manage different things like admin users and languages. And finally, we also have a couple of useful links at the bottom. For example, we have a link to the File Manager app, which lets us easily upload files for our project. We also have the link to the API Playground, which is essentially a GraphQL playground that developers can use to play around with Webiny's GraphQL APIs. For now, we'll just stop here, since a lot of these features will be covered in the upcoming videos.